This was not just a military argument, but a business case, a plea for practicality from allies and partners. Stop Russia now, Zelensky warned, or pay a far higher price in the future. The setting of the General Assembly made the speech even more significant. The UN is often a stage for broad appeals to global unity, yet Zelensky used it to highlight how fractured and ineffective the world's institutions had become. His warning about Russia's ambitions was not just directed at Ukraine's immediate allies, but at any nation that might find itself vulnerable to aggression. Following Zelensky's address, the conversation shifted toward the sudden change in rhetoric from Washington. Just a day before, US President Donald Trump had made headlines by signaling a dramatic shift in his view of the Ukraine conflict. On his social media platform, Truth Social, Trump suggested that Russia was perhaps weaker than it appeared, even referring to it as a potential paper tiger. The shift was unexpected and caught many diplomats off guard. Olivia Gaz broke down the reaction inside the UN corridors. She explained that while Trump had not mentioned this change of heart in his own speech to the General Assembly, nor in his remarks before meeting with Zelensky, he posted a message online that revealed what seemed to be a completely new outlook. At first, this was greeted with something like jubilation by the Ukrainians, by the European officials that I've spoken with here. Now, I think that settled into something like cautious optimism, she said. That cautious optimism, however, came with conditions. Diplomats and officials were left wondering whether Trump's remarks were serious policy shifts or simply rhetoric aimed at provoking Russian President Vladimir Putin. There was no clarity on whether the US would follow these words with concrete actions, such as new financial or military contributions to Ukraine. As Olivia explained, it is not clear whether this is passing rhetoric, whether this is an attempt at provoking President Putin, whether this is actually going to be met with any new material American contributions which were absent from the statement itself. The absence of clear commitments left many observers unsettled. Trump's statement concluded with a vague expression of goodwill toward both countries, but offered no indication that the US was preparing to impose additional punitive measures on Russia. For Ukraine and its allies, that lack of clarity was both encouraging and frustrating. Encouraging because the rhetoric had shifted in their favor, but frustrating because words without action do little to change realities on the battlefield.